Hi, I'm Davin Salvagno, and today we're going to talk about your purpose, how to define your purpose, how to define your why, which is different than your purpose, and probably most importantly, how to define and live by your values. So let's start with purpose. What is purpose? Purpose is your reason for being, which is very different than your why, which is your reason for doing. Your purpose is who you are. It's your gifts, talents, abilities, skill sets, everything that you have in here and in here to contribute to the lives of those around you. Your why is your motivation for doing that. So let's start with your purpose. How do you identify and define your purpose? Well, purpose is a combination of four things. It's a combination of what you're great at, what the world needs, what you love to do, and probably least important, what you get paid to do. I would offer that there are a lot of people who are doing things that are aligned with their purpose that maybe they don't get paid for. But we all want to figure out how we make purpose a part of our jobs and our careers, and we'll talk about that as well. But let's start with the first two most important pieces of this, which is what is it that you're great at and what is it that the world needs? Because that is how we start defining purpose. So here's the exercise I have for you. I want you to take out a piece of paper and I want you to make a list of all of the things that you are great at, all the things that you know that you're great at, all the things that people have told you that you're great at, and just write as many things down as you possibly can. These can be different skill sets, activities, hobbies. They could be things that you are mentally good at, whether it's academia or things that you're physically good at, working with your hands. They could be emotional things, spiritual things like the gift of encouragement or leadership. Write down as many possible things as you can. And then after you've completed that list, I want you to then go through that list and I want you to highlight the things that are helpful to others. What are things that when you do those, other people benefit? They are the things that the world needs, the world in general and the world around you. Highlight the list of things that you're great at that others around you benefit from when you use them or when you apply them. And now we have the starting point of your purpose. And a point of clarification here, we could argue that there's a singular purpose for our lives spiritually, but the reality is that purpose is more plural and momentary. You have multiple purposes. And as you've now seen, if you've done this, there are multiple things that you're great at, and there are multiple things that the world around you needs. So there's multiple purposes that you bring to every moment of every day. Now comes probably one of the most important parts. I want you to look at the things that you have highlighted, and I want you to ask yourself, which of these things, when I do them, fulfill me? I love to do them. I could do these over and over and over again and never get tired of doing them. Because there's things that we're great at that people around us need, but quite frankly, they deplete us. We get tired from doing them. They don't fulfill us. And if we had to spend the rest of our lives doing them, we might not love to do that. So just because you're great at something and just because someone needs you to do it, it can be tiring and it can drain you. What I want you to do is identify what are the things that you're great at, that others need, that when you do them, they fulfill you, they bring you joy, they recharge your battery. And now I want you to circle the items that you've highlighted that fit that criteria, that are the things that fulfill you and recharge your battery, that are also the things that you're great at that others need. And now we've narrowed down your list. We've narrowed down your list to the things that you're great at, that those around you need, that fulfill you, that you love to do. Those are the items on your paper that should be highlighted and circled. And now I want you to ask yourself, which of these am I getting paid to do? How do I apply these in my job, career, or in my profession? Every single day in my interactions with other people, how am I using these things? And I want you to take those things and I want you to fill out a card and write down all of the things that you have highlighted and circled and that you know that you can use every day in your job, career, and profession. And now I want to move to your why. Remember, I said your why is your reason for doing. You can now be clear about all of these things that you know that you're great at, that the world needs, that others can use, that fulfill you, but you're human just like everybody else. And there's days that you're just not going to be motivated to do them. So when those days come, how do you motivate yourself? And the key to doing that is to remember your why. And our why is actually founded in our who. If we look back at all of the times that we were unmotivated, there's usually someone in our life that has inspired us. It could be a relative, a parent, a grandparent. It could be someone that you've never met, but that's an inspirational source in your life. That is that voice in your head that basically tells you to get back up when you don't want to get back up, that tells you to do the thing that you don't want to do when you know that you need to do it. Who is the who that inspires you? A lot of times it could be someone who has shaped your life. It could be someone who has gone through a set of even challenging circumstances that they've overcome. And as a result of that, you've been inspired to overcome. So who is your inspiration? And I want you to write their name or names down because they are your why. They are going to be your motivating factor to get up and step into your purpose each and every single day. And now I want to talk to you about your values. Your values are your guiding principles. Your values determine what you do and what you don't do. They choose who you do life with and who you don't do life with. They choose who you do business with and who you don't do business with. And the way that you define your values is by taking an inventory of the things that you value in others. Take a look at the people that you've chosen to build your life around or build your life with. What are the qualities that they embody that you respect, that you identify with, that are also parts of who you are? And write as many of those things down as possible. Those things can be as simple as trust, collaboration, love, integrity. The list can go on and on and on. But the way that you define your values is by taking a look at the lives of those that you've chosen to surround your life with and taking inventory of the things that you value and respect in them and that you value and respect in yourself. Where do those things align? And write that list down. And now that you have your purpose, your why, and your values, you are now better prepared to ask yourself every day, how do I want to show up today? What is it that I am bringing to the world today? What is it that I'm bringing to the lives of those around me, personally and professionally? And how many of my purposes can I use? Which ones are most important to use in which moments of each day? And when you don't feel like it, when you're like, I'm just not feeling it today, you now have a list of whys to inspire you, to remind you to get up when you don't want to get up, to remind you to do the things that you know you need to do when you don't want to do them. And then when you have to make tough decisions, you now also have a list of values that will help you to make the right decisions that align with who you are and what you want to be known for. I hope this exercise helped in you determining your purpose, your why, and your values so you can show up every day as the best possible version of yourself. There's a better life.